All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Condone Yourself. We're here to talk about episode 2 of season 14. Very excited. I'm Joe, Kelly,
Hey, everybody.
and OT.
What's up, people?
All right. Let's just go ahead and get in. I'm very
Yeah.
excited to talk about this next group of queens that came in. We were introduced to 7 more. Let's talk about the entries. Who first?
The entrance look that stood out for me the most, well, because she killed it the entire episode, was Injuria's. That polka dot number with the
It was so good.
umbrella. Wait, Joe, you did not like it?
No. I loved it. In fact, Angeria and then also Deja Sky got my top scores when I met the queens. I laughed because the entry look, because it bothered me for like the whole time I was watching the first like 15 minutes because she reminded me very much so, and only in the entry look, of Myrtle Urkel from Family Matters, with obviously without the glasses.
We'll talk about Family Matters on another very special episode of Condone. Uh, but yes, I thought Angeria killed it because I am that guy, and you've already said her name. What was Deja Sky thinking? What was that look? It was it looked unfinished. It was not okay.
It did seem like it was just like fabric draped on her. And then I think it was a neon like green wig and the makeup, like all of it.
It was almost as bad as Willow Pill, right? that entrance look. But
Well,
I mean, at least she didn't have on sandals, so
even in her aside, she was like, I'm known as the pastel princess or the pastel queen. And in my mind, I was like, I don't think you know what pastels are.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that we have learned throughout the history of this show that people do not always know what words mean. So
I loved Georges. I like Georges from the Meet the Queens too, and I love the name. She's gorgeous. She looks like a little Spitfire. I just want to see her just like dance. I love the look.
I think she's a powerhouse.
Yeah,
like she just carries herself that way for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Was Deja next?
So Georges walked in first, and as you've already said, like gorgeous, beautiful, polished, like the double ponytail was giving me everything I needed. It was giving me anime. It was giving me sexy. It was like the ponytails were the same height as her body, right?
Yeah.
Like she's a teeny tiny person. And
how tall do you think she is?
I think she's like 5 foot tall. I don't even think she's 5 foot tall. Yeah. And those extra long ponytails, like they were slick, they were dark, the hair was expensive looking, like it was everything. And then Deja Sky walked in, and then Jasmine Kennedy walked in. So Jasmine Kennedy she's something. And normally when the New York queens come in, they sort of have an air about them, but I didn't get that from her. So it was really like, she's exciting to me. I'm really excited about Jasmine.
It's been a minute. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to remember anybody actually right now where I have immediately had like a crush on a drag queen. Like the first time I watched Party of Five and saw Neve Campbell, like that kind of moment.
Stay away from Neve Campbell. She is the only woman who I will go straight for, just in case she's listening and wants mixed babies. Just putting that out there. Neve Campbell.
Make some gorgeous babies.
I didn't have as strong of a connection to Jasmine Kennedy. I actually forgot her name. She gives me a little bit of something that I've seen before. I feel like a little bit of mix of this is gonna sound bad, but it's not Laganja.
She does look like Laganja. She does look like Laganja is strong.
Yeah, I can see that.
but not as intense as Laganja was in season 6.
Yeah,
but still, it gave me a little bit of that. So I need to see something else because I wasn't like completely captivated.
Not like how Daya Betty was clearly like related to Crystal Method.
Oh my God. It was like looking in a mirror. it was almost like Crystal Method had come back.
I think Crystal Method looked a lot better than Diabetti. I didn't see it.
You didn't see the makeup similarities?
The makeup.
I mean,
almost
maybe.
identical. I don't think Diabetti is a fully realized character.
That's it.
I think Diabetti is still very much clinging to her drag family and doesn't have her own
Identity.
thing. Yeah, her own identity. That's
hilarious because I got strong Jan vibes from Diabetti.
I did too. especially at the end. I have so much of a variety. I wanted to show the judges everything, and I'm like, girl, it's the first episode. Show them what you do well. Show them what you do well.
Right. Oh,
yeah, talk about Lady Camden. Yeah.
Oh, Lady Camden. Forgettable. She was forgettable to me. Hopefully
I liked Lady Camden. I think she can evolve, but she was something like different. I liked her look. You know, I really liked it. I like the accent. I like the energy. She could be kind of like a top 5, top 6 person.
I don't see her going that far.
The last one was Maddie Morphosis with that, and it was so funny. I was typing to OT, this is giving me strong guy, and then she immediately was like, I'm giving you Guy Fieri, and I was just like, okay, well, at least she thought that. Because at first I was like, does she know that she looks exactly like Guy Fieri?
I am completely confused with Maddie Morphosis. The promo look was so different from her entry look.
That was the one where she was completely painted, right?
Completely painted. Purple. So I'm thinking like this got to be a makeup queen.
Yeah.
But also, as we learned, being painted all one color is a really easy way to not have to do beautiful makeup.
And what did she say? Like she's the campy comedy kind of queen, but the whole, and I think it's just was probably nerves maybe, but she seemed really shy throughout the entire episode, and
well, justifiably so. She was
and so I just wonder, like, as she goes on, if she'll open up and like we'll get more of that way. I think it's very hard to label yourself as the comedy camp queen if you're timid.
Yeah, so okay, can we just address the elephant in the room? So Maddie Morphosis is obviously now, for those who watch the episode, and if you haven't watched the episode, then you shouldn't be listening to us right now because this is all spoilers for you.
Yeah, we're just recapping the entire episode.
This is all we do is recap. We don't have advanced.
They called it out in the promo.
Yeah,
they called it out in the promo. It's out,
but they didn't call it out in the promo.
Well, there's been articles though for months.
Yeah, they've been having
meet the queens. She said it too.
Yeah, but that's after the show is already wrapped. So they do all that after the show is wrapped. But short story shorter, Maddie Morphosis is the cisgender heterosexual male. I'm just going to go ahead and say this, and I want to get real close to you, America, as I do. So I'm saying this by myself, for myself only. RuPaul, what you did yesterday was not okay. You do not get to out people. That was Maddie's truth to tell and nobody else's. There, I've done it. And now I feel better about it. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I was so agitated. Like it took me so far out of the show yesterday when RuPaul came in that room and said to Maddie out loud in front of everyone, "You're a heterosexual male." That is the equivalent of outing a gay person. That's the equivalent of outing a trans person. That is not okay. That was his truth to tell. She should have let him do that when he was ready. I get it. I understand it's a selling point for the show. I understand it's a historical marker. But just like last year with Gottmik got to tell everyone that he was trans. In season 6, Monica got to tell everyone that she was transitioning. Peppermint got to tell everyone she was transitioning. Like every other person had their moment to disclose those important things that they kept close to the chest that were personal to them. And for RuPaul to get on television and steal that moment from him, particularly when at the beginning of the broadcast, he talked about not wanting people to know because he didn't want to be judged for that. That bothered me. And I'm very upset about it. But like, it just takes me into being a kid and people like trying to pull me out of the closet and telling me I'm gay and telling my family I'm gay before I was ready, before I knew, before I felt safe. And that's what she did.
People and fans would have been enraged if it was someone that was not really out about their transgender identity or their bisexual identity or whatever, and Rue did that, right? But I think and this happens a lot like in society in general, it's like, well, this is different because you're like the majority, but is it? It's not. And I think that I really appreciated the Queen's response in general, like both in the makeup session and in Untucked. I thought, well, one, it's weirdly both episodes these queens have been really sweet, which I'm
right.
like, where's the villain here? We need one villain to like
disrupt they will emerge.
Yeah. But just this is giving us amazing conversations around orientation, but then also around toxic masculinity and what it means to be a straight man in America, especially. And these aren't ones that we've been able to tackle in these last 14 seasons. I think both was Angeria. There was two queens, Angeria and I think Lady Camden, that were just like, I have so much respect because that's not easy to do. And I think it was Lady Camden that said, you have to be incredibly secure in your masculinity and your sexuality to dive into this world. And also, like, Maddie made a point about how much respect you have to have for that community when you enter it, right? It's not just a fun willy-nilly thing to do. It's not a joke, right? So I love the conversations that came up after the fact, but I agree with you, OT, that was not the way to do it. The only thing I can think of was that, I don't know, that she agreed to that ahead of time or something, but because who knows what goes on with the producers and the
production. I didn't have like a strong reaction because I just assumed, because I saw Meet the Queens and everything that Maddie was talking about was very open. Like, hey, I'm Maddie Morphosis. I'm, a cisgender, straight man. Every time I would hear about Maddie Morphosis, it just came up. So I guess I was probably a little bit more numb to it.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've just kept hearing her say it. So when Rue said it, just felt like Rue was just kind of like acknowledging it a little bit and kind of like supporting it. But I do see that the way it came out, especially with how the show edited and set it up as him not wanting to fully voice it. I definitely see that too. But yeah, Kelly, to your point, who knows what goes on behind the scenes and what they discussed. Because I think in instances like Peppermint or even Sonique, that stuff Rue probably didn't know about until like later on.
Oh, well, we skip past the first challenge. So let's get into the challenges.
The mini challenge was, of course, another photo. I'm always interested in photos. And maybe it was because I used to be a model and I love taking photographs, but
subtle brag.
Yeah, a little bit. He's pretty. But one of the things is about modeling is that you get to put your personality in the photograph. And so the way that the episodes have been set up, these two episodes, having very specifically photo challenges, which they haven't done that in a while as the first challenge for the season. And then not only having a photo challenge, but then backing that up with the main challenge of a talent show. This is really giving you an opportunity to show everyone exactly who you are. You can show people who you are in still, and you can show people who you are in motion. And so for me, like, it's a brilliant RuPaul. I'm back on your side now. Brilliant RuPaul.
We're friends again.
Right, we're friends now. Brilliant way to introduce us to the queens, because it is really showing you all of who they are. I get sad when people don't take advantage of those photo challenges. Like, I don't think Lady Camden took advantage of that photo challenge specifically. And
Wasn't she the one that just kind of looked awkward the whole time?
yeah, she just kept
Yeah.
making these horrible, weird faces. She was spitting out the Tic Tacs. Like I didn't get to know anything about who she is as a queen when she was taking those photos. But I walked away feeling like I knew who Georges was. I knew who David Sky was. I knew exactly who Angeria was. Like I felt connected to them when they were taking their photos. For some people, it was just a missed opportunity.
Can we talk about, though, how that was so much easier than the first 7 getting spun around
Yes.
on a wheel?
Yes, it is so much easier. And then Rue was helping them out and saying, "Hey, pose for me like your favorite song by Britney Spears." You know,
Right.
and I was like, well, these other heifers didn't have this opportunity. Interesting.
And they tried to act like it was hard because they were every once in a while getting Tic Tacs like in their mouth or like whatever. And I was just rolling my eyes thinking, you see me spinning around nauseous upside down. Right.
Well, you don't know what happened to their cats before that, Kelly. Their cats could have been sick, so you don't know.
That's true.
Okay. That's a Ryan story. Ryan wasn't in this one.
But I will say the thing that makes me laugh the hardest is when Rue goes into his like acting mad attitude. When he like threw those Tic Tacs and then was just kept being like, I asked for an abundance of
I don't like there wasn't really much else to say about that for me.
Do you think
it was clear though who the winner was?
Yeah,
I knew it was Angeria.
The first picture they showed of her, I was like, oh yeah, she won. Like
she's showing those legs and she's posing those legs. I was like, she got it.
Yeah, the first picture. And they showed like 3 of her, and all of them were stunning. Like the camera loves her face. Period. The moving camera, the still camera, like she got a chance. She just gotta not mess it up.
Do you think that there was a Tic Tac sponsorship deal? There had to have been.
Oh, absolutely. She's been doing that Tic Tac thing since I want to say season 2.
Okay, let's get into the talent show.
Oh my God, what talent
show? Jinx.
I'm so mad that there were 3 lip syncs in a row.
Oh yeah. Off. Yeah, 3 in a row. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was like, there were 5 lip syncs.
Yeah. Oh, it was rough.
It was a catastrophe.
And I just when they were going and talking to RuPaul about what they were going to do, and Diabetti was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to sing Pink. And Ru is giving her all the hints. Ru is giving her hints as if she was about to do Snatch Game and she was doing a trash character. And Ru was like, you need to do something else. She was giving her all the hints. And she was like, oh, no, this is going to, I'm Pink. I'm going to be just like Pink. And I'm going to show you a little bit about, because I like to get the party started. And I was like, bitch, no, it ain't going to work. You out. You already out.
Like I said last night, her talent was as little as her hat.
That is so accurate.
But, I get that Georges and Jasmine are performers and do have like a very strong energy to them. And it's exciting to watch and all of that. But like we said last week, I just don't think lip syncing is enough. Even if you are performing the house down, that is something, as we said last week, that is a necessity in drag and not an over and above talent. And they really the judges really liked Georges, and she did look great, and I thought it was really fun to watch. But if I'm gonna rank them in the way that I did last week, where I don't think lip syncing really counts and shows us much more than what you already do, I was just disappointed. I just think it's different if you, again, just like Cornbread, just like Angeria, right. If you make your own song with your own lyrics and then perform it, that is a different thing. But just lip syncing, I can't.
The way that it was presented was boring. right? So this is where Lady Camden comes in for me, right? Lady Camden came out and lip sync, but she did ballet in heels.
Yeah.
Okay, in heels. And she added a little twist to it. So it wasn't just what we're accustomed to seeing. It wasn't expected. It, you know, it wasn't a big twist, but it was a little, you know, a woo twist. It was a woo twist. But that was more interesting than, say, watching Georges or Jasmine, because if either of them lip sync for their life, that's exactly what we're going to see.
Exactly.
Everything that we just got in that moment, right? Yeah. Or even if they just lip sync at the end for the crown, like that's exactly what we're going to see, what we just got in that moment. So it wasn't, as Kelly said, it wasn't anything, it wasn't fresh.
Plus, Georges was just wearing brawn panties. So the outfit also was just kind of, I mean, it was sexy, but it wasn't anything crazy or special or unique. But just going back to Lady Camden for a second, as it was presented, her talent was not lip sync. Her talent was dance, right? And so, yeah, she lip synced along with the song, but the focus was the dance. And I think, I don't know, of all of the talents that I've seen people do on Drag Race, I think that was the most impressive, because ballet is so hard, even if you're in like actual ballet shoes, and to be not just in heels, but in tiny like stilettos. And do it. She never missed. She never like faltered. She didn't like trip herself up. She didn't even like barely stumble. And I think Michelle did in the judging panel say, you don't realize how hard that is, and like how impressive that is. And so I thought that was amazing. And I'm glad that she did it. I know that like Rue was like, well, ballet is boring. And I get what Rue was saying is like, you don't want to come out flat with like no energy. But she didn't. And plus I love that Jamiroquai song. So, I mean,
that's where Lady Camden ultimately won a little bit more points with me. And I was like, okay, she's going to be interesting. She could be a little bit of a dark horse in this competition. She just has to kind of believe in herself.
I got to be dark.
I didn't say black. I said dark.
I will say that even though Georges and Jasmine Kennedy's talent was dancing / lip syncing, Jasmine Kennedy's splits and flips were like nothing else I've seen. Like the perfection. Did you see how she did that spinning split and her back was perfectly straight when she landed with her legs? I was getting my life just watching like the technical precision of the way that she dances, and the fact that even though she had all that technical precision, it was still exciting. Like you could still see her personality coming through. I like Jasmine. Like I'm very excited by Jasmine. I really am. And not just because she's a skinny white queen.
I wasn't gagging.
Maddie, let's talk about Maddie and the blues guitar, which
sorry. I'm so sorry. It just brought up PTSD. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
America, my chin is on my chest. I thought that was beautiful.
Yes.
Me and Alicia Keys were the only people who were feeling it, but I was in my chair like I was biting my lip and the shoulders was going and my head was popping. I was like, yes, give me blues. I was loving that.
If I look at that alone and I hear the music, I was like, yes, that is very good. Wow, that is a talent. Check. Entertaining? No. I wouldn't want to look at Maddie do that on stage.
It goes back to what we were saying earlier, which is that Rue gives them the answers up front. It's like when you take a test, but someone is like, here are the answers, just fill it in. And queens are like, you know what? I'm not going to listen. I'm still going to just do my pink lip sync. Rue told Maddie, blues can be slower. So make sure you
drag it up.
Else. Yeah. Just like the feedback for Lady Camden, like ballet can be it's beautiful, but it can be very slow. There can be these moments of like lulls. and Lady Camden took that assignment, but Maddie did not. And
What she did, she used her tongue, but she just didn't do it right.
but that's again, you're
I
not.
thought she was trying to bite it. I had no idea what the hell she was doing. I was like, what is that?
You thought she
And
was going,
and like
you thought she
and
was
like
going
when
to eat
you're on
it, Joe?
stage, when you're on stage, you never hide your face, right? You don't hide your face because they said it too on the judging panel. You don't let people in. So I was like so frustrated because it was good, but like I went to a drag show and somebody started playing a flute. A drag queen started playing a flute, and I was like, wow, you're playing that flute really well. Nobody was paying attention. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. It was not entertaining.
Let's give her props for actually freaking playing the guitar.
Well, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
First of all.
For
yes.
not playing the guitar.
And again, lip sync queens, playing the guitar is a real talent. This is an actual talent show that we're getting to see like a part of you. But I agree, it was a miss to. It's like the true performers come out because they always know, where am I on the stage? How can I connect with my audience? How can I get people excited? And so that was lacking. And the other thing I really liked it. I give her so much respect for actually, playing the guitar. But if you play the guitar and clearly she's good at it, you know how faster songs, you know some rock songs, or some, so I was, if that performance would have been a slow blues intro, and then there was like a kick over the amp, and then just like start rocking, like go down on your knees, then that's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was so close, and again, she just missed it. She just missed it at the end.
And that outfit was hideous. Like that is
was
not forgivable. That pants was not forgivable. And sometimes things are so hideous they turn the corner and become fantastic. That was not one of those moments.
Yeah.
But I would wear it. So
well, let's then go, speaking of horrible, to Deja's cheer, whatever that was. Pom pom disaster. I don't know. OT has left the chat.
I was like, is that it? Is this what you wanted to show as a talent?
How did she think that was funny?
And she said later on in Untucked that she doesn't consider herself a comedy queen. Then why did you do it?
How did she think that was funny?
I think I could audibly hear people dropping their children out of her cheer camps.
If this is your profession,
right,
that is not the way you present it to America. Think about when Alyssa Edwards said, I'm a dancer. By the way, I own my own dance studio.
Yep.
When Alyssa danced, you were like, oh, I want my kids dancing with her. That's where I want my kids to learn from. And what has happened? Alyssa has since been on America's Got Talent. Alyssa has her own Netflix TV show about her dance studio because she knew how to market. She was like, I am the brand. Let me show you what I can do. Let me show you what will happen for your kids if they come to my dance studio. As you just stated, Kelly, girl, you need to just fold up and start a whole new career because you just screwed yourself.
But did she ever really do cheer? So now I just question. I think she lied to Rue. I don't think she ever actually did cheer. There is no way. Like, I believe Jasmine Kennedy when she said, I used to do cheer too. I believe that. Deja Skye from the Meeting the Queens got one of my highest scores, tied with Ingeria. And I was hugely disappointed. And I don't think that's what she really wanted to put forward. Yeah. But damn, that was a miss. That was a huge miss.
That was a hard miss.
And then if you put that up against Orion's bomb last week, I don't know who's the worst.
I give the worst to Deja.
Yeah.
Because Orion planned that on the spot.
Yeah.
He
at least got some laughs.
And he did get some laughs. And Deja came in knowing that's what she was going to do. So you prepared that. And
practiced that.
This is when you let me talk to Deja. Deja, this is when you need better friends. Okay? Because if you had good friends when you were practicing that in front of them, they would have said, "Oh, Bill, don't do that. Not on Drag Race. That's cute for right here in front of us at the living room, but don't do that on Drag Race. Get better friends. Get better friends."
But that is where, like, now I'm not even curious about watching any drag shows in Fresno, because maybe her friends, maybe her friends were like, "Bitch, you gonna win? That shit is hilarious."
She did call it the armpit of California, so maybe it's also the armpit of drag.
Yeah. And Deja, if you ever watch this, we're being hard on you because we see that you're such a great queen. You have so much to offer, but it was just a huge, oh girl. I'm sorry.
Well, I think you could see it on her face and Untucked that she realized
that she needed better friends.
And then I guess last is, and we talked about her a little bit already, but Angeria's original song, which was so fun. And
thank goodness for her. Thank goodness for her.
Yeah.
She saved this episode.
Check.
She completely saved this episode.
Check. Was like, it was so good. And when Alicia Keys is just like, original songs can be tough, but you nailed it. Like, she impressed Alicia Keys, and what a force. I don't remember. I mean, I guess I didn't watch the season with the comedy queen, Bianca
Del Rio.
Yeah, Bianca Del Rio. And from what I've heard from you guys, it's like she kind of just stormed her way through that. Yeah. But it's been a long time, or I don't know if I ever have seen an episode where someone just completely dominated from the very entry till the end. It was just kind of like, well, we know who's going to win the mini challenge. We know who's going to win this challenge.
Like, it was perfection from start to finish. She did not have a single negative thing said about her the entire episode. And then to make it even worse, she has the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to be nice. She's such a sweetheart on top of being fantastic like that. Like, it's just annoying.
And then you add that incredible Southern accent that just makes her even more
Southern Belle.
Yes. Like, she is going to be a problem for everybody who comes in her way, as long as she stays confident. Remember Widow Von Du on the first episode?
I was just about to say it.
Yes. Yeah. Remember Widow on that first episode? How fantastic she was, how confident. I thought Widow was going to blow through that competition. I for sure saw Widow in the top 4, and then those demons got in her head, and she just crumbled. And you see that happen we almost saw it happen to Simone last season. Remember when those demons got in Simone's head at the end, and we thought she wasn't going to make it? And I
never thought she wasn't going to make it.
Oh, I thought for a moment, like, those demons were real.
As long as Candy was in there, she was going to make it.
Okay, that's true. that much is true.
No offense, Candy, but I mean,
total offense, Candy.
The best performance of both episodes put together, for me, was Angeria. Like, that was everything. I love Cornbread, but Angeria, I remember the song. I just remember check. I just remember it so much. And I loved it so much. And then her look, we can talk about looks now, but her look was just phenomenal. Like, I was just like,
that wine colored dress and the silver swirls. Oh my God, it was delicious. I could have put her on a stick and just ate her.
Yeah.
That is one of the most stunning looks from, like, what is a self-described pageant queen, because sometimes I think it can look a little dated, or it can, they doesn't quite hit, but that
was gorgeous. And the cape, and it fit, the hair, her makeup. Oh my! She looked like a dream.
Yeah. And with every dream, there's a nightmare. So that's diabetes. Because girl, I was like, girl, you have a whole hole in the back of your leg. I know you feel that breeze. I know you feel that breeze. Pick something else. Pick something else. I mean, she even said at the beginning, she's like, I got a dress made of ribbons, and ooh, it might be a little risky. And I was like, girl, that was the wrong risk. The wrong risk. Should have saved that dress for someone
foreshadowing else. Is everything.
It is,
okay.
It is all.
I will say on a positive, I did like the construction of it in that, like the cute weaving, and I think made a little bit differently by someone who's very good at construction. That dress could have been amazing.
Yeah,
but
I loved her hair. I thought her hair was beautiful. I didn't particularly care for the color, but I liked the styling. I thought the hair was really, really nice.
I don't remember the.
Yeah, it was that blue. It was that blue. It had the two humps on the top, and then it flared out sort of in the back. I thought it was really pretty interesting hair.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I have come to realize that my preference for people wearing wigs is that I want it to look like it's their hair. Even if it's like a different color or whatnot, I want it to look like it belongs on their head. And that just looked like someone went plop and then she's just wearing it.
That was, it was dangerously close to a Canadian wig.
Season one.
Season one. Yeah. It was a little better, but it was definitely not season one.
But I think I'm with you, Joe. I that's probably me as well, which is why I loved Jasmine's purple entry wig, because it looked like her hair, but that had had a treatment of color to it, right? Which is different.
Speaking of beautiful, Lady Camden's peacock look. I thought that was so pretty. I hated the shoes. I got it. I got why she did it, but I hated the shoes. I really wish she would have put on some really nice stiletto heels with that. It would have completely elevated the look. It would have elevated her graceful, beautiful ballerina walk. It just would have elevated everything. I think it would have moved her to the top instead of safe.
It was very much a little bit like she had the same contraption as Caught in the Act when she had her little angel wing.
Oh, the wings.
Push it down.
Oh my God, those wings were everything.
Nobody else was wearing something like that. She stood out in a good way.
Right.
Instead of, well, and same as Maddie standing out in a incredible never before seen way, that even got Michelle, who hates a costume, to admit that it worked, and it worked really well.
That was brill. That was brill.
Loved it.
And we haven't even seen any, for those of you who watch the UK version, we've seen stuff on that level. But on the American level, on the American show, we haven't seen anything next level like that. That was next level. Yeah. That was so dope.
I loved it. I had a little gasp, and I was like, okay, all right, Maddie, now I see what you can do. Yeah. I like this. Keep this rolling.
We've seen Marie Antoinette done 1,000 times on this runway, but we've never seen Marie Antoinette with the severed head. That was next level. It was next level.
What do you think? The judges seem to really like Deja's look with the lace and the cerulean headpiece and bottom, and I didn't like it, and I don't know why. Sometimes it seemed like it was very heavy at the bottom, so maybe that was throwing me off. Also, she falls victim to what we were talking about last week, which is like the white mask across the eyes, so that throws me off makeup wise.
I really like the look. I see what you're saying with maybe how the proportions may have been a little distracting, but I loved the whole gown. I love the bottom. I think for me, where it could be better is if she maybe took off the head thing and actually had some kind of styled wig or something.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a little bit more interesting and balanced. But I love the look. I thought it fit her body very well. You saw curves. She looked sexy.
I was also very much on the fence about it, Kelly. I don't know if I loved it or if I hated it. I did love the color palette.
Mhm.
I like that black, that cerulean blue. I loved the design. I like the pattern. I thought it was interesting and eye-catching. But I didn't like, it's weird. It's sort of like when, like, if you see someone who you think is really beautiful, or no, you don't think they're really beautiful, but you think everything about their face is beautiful. Like, oh my God, I love Kelly's eyes, and Kelly has a beautiful nose, and look at the beautiful smile and his perfect lips. But I just don't think Kelly's handsome. Right? Like, it's one
Wait
of
a
those things.
minute.
Not you.
This has become a Kelly hate podcast, and I'm not here for it.
But right, like, it's that sort of thing where, like, where all the pieces make
Yeah.
sense, but when you put it all together, it just doesn't make sense anymore.
I did like Georges's look.
Oh, I love Georges's look.
So
Yeah.
She
pretty.
just looked expensive, like an expensive toy.
That's, oh my God. I said that last night. I said,
Oh, you did?
she looks but not like a toy. But I said that. I was like, she looks expensive.
Yeah, she looked amazing.
Yeah.
She is living up to her name. Obviously, she's going to have to bring a lot more to this competition, but I'm excited to see her.
I think the last one was Jasmine. With
Jasmine.
That,
That-
I thought she was gorgeous too.
that
But like
gold
I said
number.
earlier, I have a soft spot for Jasmine now.
I didn't like the way the dress fit around her hips initially,
Yes,
and then
yes.
yeah, I was shocked that Michelle didn't clock her for that. Especially the way she was clocking people for stockings and undergarments
Right.
last week.
Last week.
You're right, but those queens were black. So that all aside, yeah, I didn't love the way it fit right below the waist. It felt like she needed a little more padding to fill that part out, because it made her look a little boxy. But that's me being nitpicky,
Right.
because it was gorge.
The only thing that threw me off, did you guys notice the breastplate? There was a little
Yeah.
gap
Yeah, there was a
right
gap,
in the
Mhm.
middle.
and no one
Yeah.
clocked her on that either.
We guessed, and Joe, did you when you were watching, like who would be in the bottom?
I knew from the beginning of the episode that Daya was going to go home. I just knew because of how like everything was being handled through the episode. Didn't listen to Rue, horrible challenge, hole in the outfit. I was like, girl, you are sinking.
She was the Titanic, and it was a disaster.
She hit the iceberg and it ripped her dress and she was done.
Not to mention, when you wear something like that on the runway, you're not going to be able to move in it for a lip sync. So
Right,
that,
she should have just ripped that whole shit up. Just started
Yeah.
like undoing those ribbons. Yeah.
this is also though where I give myself props for guessing that they would do an Alicia Keys ballad, which
Yeah,
they very much
solid.
did. As much as like Deja did slip up through the episode, that was a good lip sync.
Let me tell you
Oh.
something. That lip sync showed you the difference between being an artist and being desperate. Because when I tell you that Miss Deja gave me artistry, that
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
And Miss Daya gave me desperate.
Yep.
Like, she looked like she was trying to draw people's eyes. She was trying to win. She was trying so desperately to not lose that she wasn't focused on her performance. Whereas Deja looked like she went into a zone and forgot Daya was even on the stage and was like, boo, I am performing. And
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
I think
It's
it
like
is,
this is how I do it at home.
Yeah.
This is how you know.
Yeah.
I think it's the true test of a queen when you can be highly entertained and engaged in a slow song.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, it's all about entertainment value, and slow songs are really hard to keep an audience captivated, but she did it. and passed with flying colors. That was incredible.
I don't remember Diabetti at any point where the camera was not only focused on her. When the camera was showing both of them, she was invisible to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only parts of that lip sync I remember is when the camera was only showing her, because when I tell you Deja Skye drew my eye the entire time,
even behind
Betty.
Like, I was like, there she go.
Yep. She slayed her. And for Rue to call her a lip sync assassin after one episode, one lip sync, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Which
makes me feel better about my initial grade of Deja. I was like, oh, okay, she has something. This was just a bad first episode. Right. I feel better. Come on, Deja, come on.
Oh, one thing I did want to ask, follow up, is the lipstick under the fingernails.
Yeah. So when she scratched herself, it's an old drag queen thing. You put lipstick, you chunk up lipstick under the tips of your fingernails. And so when you run it across your body, it looks like you're scratching yourself and drawing blood, but it's really just the lipstick coming off the bottom of your nails.
So that was supposed to be dramatic?
Yes.
For a song about falling in love with somebody?
She did look like she had been attacked by my kitten, and so it was very distracting.
I was like, is whoever attacking you the same thing that attacked your dress? Because, girl... But you know what? I want to call out something real quick, too, which is very interesting. I always like to look at similarities with how they split the episodes. The first queen to enter the workroom on both episodes was the Latina queen, right? And the last queen to enter was the queen that got sent home.
Last in, first out.
They got the least amount of screen time.
Oh, no.
Sorry about it.
Oh, just to kind of like rub it in, you know. Poor things. But I want to know when. Remember in the promos they showed like the Willy Wonka chocolate bars, and
that's
like,
next week.
Be a twist. Like. Okay,
yeah, that looks like next week.
Because if they do like a twist where one of these queens come back, I kind of hope it's Orion's story.
I would like to see Orion's story come back, but I think from what I have gathered from the promos, but we also have to remember how shady the editors of RuPaul's Drag Race are.
Yeah.
But it sounds like with whatever is in that candy bar is going to keep the person safe. And I think the chocolate bar is going to provide them immunity. We'll see. We've guessed right in the past. So
yeah. Can do's and can don't moments. All right, let's start with con do's.
Yes. Oh, well, again, super easy for me. Angeria Paris Van Michaels. She was perfection from start to finish. When you talk about having the perfect episode, that is what it looks like, right? Like we have seen people slay. We've seen the Gottmix. We've seen the Simones. We've seen the Bob the Drag Queens. But the show she put on last night was epic level. Like Kelly said earlier, the entrance look, fantastic. She slayed the mini challenge. She did fantastic in her talent show. She came out and then gave you another fantastic runway after giving you a beautiful talent show outfit. She knew how to answer all the questions. And she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And she's funny and she's fun to listen to. And I loved all of her like one-on-ones with the camera, you know, and she has that infectious laugh. There is a lot to like.
Yes, Angeria, done.
Yeah. My con-do is definitely Deja's lip sync. I was just so worried that I did not pick the right one, or you know, I was like, what's wrong? Like, what's not translating? And then that lip sync was like, oh, thank you. So, con-do more of that, Deja, please.
I think I already talked about how much I love Rue's angry acting, which made me laugh. But I will say, so I already talked about that. So another can do for me was Michelle's joke about George Washington, and then she was like, never mind, wait, George W. Bush. And now I want to start using that, like, oh, that's George W. Bush. It's so stupid.
But it works.
I love it.
It's fantastic. Condones.
Mine is, if you find Santino's hat in a bowl of Tic Tacs, don't pick it up. Don't put it on your head. It did not look good, and we don't want that bitch back. Not sorry.
I like Santino.
Not sorry.
I loved his voice was so sexy.
But his personality is not.
That's okay. I just wanted to hear him talk.
Yeah, but every time he talked, it was bullshit.
He was just mean. He was
very mean.
He was unnecessarily mean. Like, he had a very specific idea about drag, and if you strayed away from his idea about what drag is, he had nothing for you. My condone is RuPaul outing Maddie, because you just don't do that. I spent enough time of the show talking about it, so I won't get into it any further than RuPaul, you owe Maddie a public apology. That's all.
My condone is the fact, sadly, that I don't have a mirror that has Alicia Keys inside of it. That's all I want, is for her to just like chat with me through the mirror in the morning and say, with her sexy raspy voice, and sing me songs while I'm brushing my teeth.
I want that too.
Yeah, her voice is so sexy.
Anything else that we missed?
I don't think so. I feel like we have successfully covered it in an hour and 30 minutes. Much better
Shorter than last time.
Week. Yeah, we cut it out.
We have had an abundance of jokes.
It'll be hard to edit all this good stuff. But Kelly can do it.
We got some stuff. We got some stuff we can edit out probably.
Well, Kelly will. So.
I'm just gonna start editing out all of OT's parts.
Those are the longest parts.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? You're just like, oh, let's listen to the edit, and you're just not in it at all.
I was barely in this episode.
Yeah.
You gave me the cherry pie edit.
Oh no,
I forgot about Sherry Pie.
They made sure that you did.
Sure.
They made sure she did.
That whole thing was so weird, because it's like we knew that she was on, but we never got to see her, and then it made the whole season so odd.
How is she in top 4 when she ain't did shit?
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Condone Yourself. Please be sure to tune in next week, where Joe, Kelly, and OT will continue to break down season 14, episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, when all the queens are finally together and we finally get to see what is really going on. So thanks for tuning in, and can't wait to be with you again next week.
Oh, that was pretty.
Yeah, I was amazing.
That's pretty.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, at Condone Yourself Podcast. But if you want to listen, go to Spotify, find us there, or you can watch us on YouTube at Condone Yourself Podcast. So if you just put that in your search bar, you're going to find us. So follow, like, subscribe, all that good jazz, and keep on listening. A good day,
everybody.
A good day. Bye.